Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today. That's your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. And finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me today. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. And I need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Carmela Falanca. Afternoon, Miss. What's your date of birth?
June 21st, 1990.
All right. Miss Falanca, you have 2 charges today: burglary of a conveyance with a battery and tampering or harassing a witness or victim. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
No prior history, Your Honor.
Wow. Okay. And young lady, I have an address for you on Regatta Drive in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
A year.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I'm a bartender.
Where do you do that?
Heritage Pines.
Okay. I'll set your bond on the burglary at $10,000, on the tampering at $2,000. Condition of that bond is that you'll have no contact with Ms. Chipkowski. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, don't contact her through any social media, don't go where she lives, don't go where she works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine having contact with her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. We'll be back in court on the 28th of May. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca Kruger Barron. Morning, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
9/61.
All right, Rebecca, you're hearing a warrant. It was signed by Judge Heineman. He found probable cause for 5 counts: felony driving under the influence, driving with a suspended license, refusal to submit to a test, 2 counts of leaving the scene of an accident with damage. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, please.
Appoint the PD, State.
The open Pasco battery on a person 65 years of age or older, a refusal in 15, a duelist in 15, DUI 4th, adjudication in 15, petty theft adjudication 14, petty theft adjudication 14, a refusal and DUI adjudication in 2012, a DUI adjudication in 2005, a refusal in 05, and a petty theft in 02, a petty theft in 02, and a PTI battery in 01.
All right. And ma'am, I've got an address for you on Channel Drive in Port Richey. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
25 years.
Do you have a job these days?
No.
We're going to leave the bonds for the warrants. That's $5,000 on the DUI, $2,000 on the driving, $1,000 on the refusal, and $500 on each of the leaving the scenes. That's a total of $9,000. You'll be back in court on the 10th of May. Looks like they told you the 28th, but we'll have you back in court on the 10th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Tammy Nieves. Student Tammy, what's your date of birth?
11/22/68.
Tammy, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Heinemann. You found probable cause for one count of trespassing. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I asked for the public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender, Steve.
Trespassing December of 2018 out of Hernando County, and another trespass in 2013 with no disposition, Hernando County in 2013.
Tammy, where you been staying lately?
Well, I've been just hanging out here and there.
Okay. You've been staying with anybody in particular or living outdoors? What's going on?
Well, I've been hanging out usually on the bench.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond at $500. I'm going to have you back in court on the 17th of May. If you get out, you should contact the public defender. If you can't get out, they're going to come see you at the jail before you go to court again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Christian Treadway. And Ms. Treadway, what's your date of birth?
12/25/84.
You're here on a warrant that I signed because you failed to appear in my court on a charge of petty theft back in December. State, is this something she can resolve today?
She has 2 days prior to these two.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, the time would be time served with the reserve on restitution.
Okay. Christian, if you want to enter a plea to this case today, I would adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the county jail, which you've already done. I'd assess the fines and court costs, but this case would be resolved. If there was nothing else keeping you in jail, you'd be released today. If that's not something you want to do, then I'll go ahead and set your bond. Do you want to resolve it, or do you want me to talk about bond?
Yeah, let's resolve it, and then I have a question afterwards if possible.
Sure. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this case today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Case number 18MM3784 is the charge of petty theft. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Yes.
I'll accept the plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the county jail, credit 4 days served, fine and court costs of $670. I won't order the coin since I will. I'll order the cost of incarceration. That takes care of this case, Christian. If there's nothing else keeping the jail, you'll be released today. What's your question?
I am being held on a fugitive of justice warrant out of West Virginia.
Okay.
I signed a waiver on March 14th. How long will you hold me for them?
Where did you sign the fugitive waiver?
Pasco.
Oh, okay. I don't know what to tell you. Can somebody at the jail tell me, what are we doing? Are we holding her now for West Virginia, or are we going to send her back to Pasco?
I don't show that Pasco has a hold, but they do show that West Virginia wants her, so we'll have to verify with West Virginia and have that served.
Okay.
I don't know if it was served already.
It sounds like she signed a waiver, but what'll happen, Christian, is they'll look into it and find out, and with any luck at all, you'll be back in front of me tomorrow or the next day, and we'll have an answer for you. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerome Anderson. Afternoon, Mr. Anderson. What's your date of birth?
07/19/1994.
Anderson, the charge is burglary with a battery. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point to PD. State.
An adjudication for resisting officer without violence in 2018. A adjudication in 2014 for a violation of a domestic violence injunction out of Hernando County, and no other convictions, Your Honor.
Sir, I have an address for you on Regatta Drive in Hudson. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long you been there?
About a year and a half.
You have a job these days?
Yeah, JR, it's landscaping.
Okay. Also set your bond at $10,000. Also with the condition that you have no contact with Ms. Chapkowski. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir, I know what it means.
All right, very good. Okay, guys, I moved the co-defendant to the 10th, I think. Did we move the co-defendant or not?
Yes, Judge, let's see.
Or is that still on the
That's
28th?
number 5.
Yeah.
Mr. Kruger?
No,
You
no,
said-
it's number 4. 28?
528.
Okay, all right. Very good. So I'll have you back on the 28th of May, Mr. Anderson. When you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I was looking when it did that.
Frank Booth? Afternoon, Mr. Booth. What's your date of birth?
12/28/89.
And Mr. Booth, I have 2 warrants for you. The first one was signed by Judge Merritt, the second one by Judge Angelitis. Judge Merritt found probable cause for a grand theft, and Judge Angelitis found probable cause for a retail theft. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I have a private attorney.
All right, who's your lawyer?
Pam Bowman.
All right, does she know where you are today?
I believe so.
Okay, stay
I
with
just got transferred here.
Okay, where were you?
Citrus County Jail, I just did 11/29 there.
Okay. All right. And state what you tell me.
Your Honor, I wasn't provided a criminal history.
Okay. And the address I have for you, Frank, is on Roosevelt Boulevard in Beverly Hills. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir, that's where my wife lives.
Okay. And if you just did 11/29, you haven't worked in a while, right?
Yeah, I do not have a job at this time.
Okay. We set your bond at $500 on each one. That's a total of $1,000. The misdemeanor's coming back the 17th of May. The felony the 28th of May. Make sure you give your lawyer a call. Let her know what's going on. Okay?
Yes, sir, thank you.
You bet. Justin Doss.
He bonded, Your Honor.
Oh, awesome. Isaiah LaFranchi. Oops, incoming, sorry. Afternoon again, Isaiah. What's your date of birth?
3/30/2000.
All right. So Isaiah, I got 3 charges today. 1 count of possession of counterfeit bills and 2 counts of carrying a concealed firearm. There's probable cause for those. As to those charges, you want the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And state, as I recall yesterday, you didn't have a lot of history, right?
Right, Your Honor,
the
just
other
those
charge.
pending charges.
Right. Okay. All right, so on these, Isaiah, I'll set the bond at $1,000 each. So that's another $3,000 together with what we did yesterday. And then these are also coming back on the 28th of May. Like I said yesterday, if you get out, make sure you contact the PD right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Marcus Marquis. Morning, Marcus. What's your date of birth?
5/24/87.
Marcus, I got possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for the charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD and state I'm aware he's got an open case or any other history.
An adjudication was held February 2018, accident, unattended vehicle or property without leaving, hit and run, and that was out of Pasco County. A pretrial diversion in 2009 for an aggravated battery offender should have known victim pregnant.
Okay. And Marcus, I've got an address for you on Alderwood Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
No, I live out of Hudson.
Okay. Hicks Road, is that it?
Yes.
Okay. How long you been there?
All my life on and off.
Okay. You got a job these days?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
I do fire safety systems out of St. Pete for critical systems solutions.
And I assume state you'd like an RCO.
Yes, Your Honor, because the date of offense was April 9th.
There's no doubt it happened after.
For the first one.
Right. All right. And I'm not going to do that today. Marcus, I'm going to set bonds on these. You need to understand that because you were out on bond on these same charges, the state is fully within the right to ask me to revoke your bond on the old cases and hold you without bond. For various reasons, I'm not going to do that today, but two things. One, when I set bonds on these and you get out, you need to get to the public defender's office right away. There are issues here and you need to talk to them, all right? Number two is you need to not commit any more crimes, allegedly commit any more crimes, because if you show up at first appearance again, there's no doubt you're going to wind up in jail. Pardon me, without bond. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to move these to the 10th of May, which is where your other cases are. I'm going to set the bonds at $1,000 and $500 respectively. That's another $1,500. You'll be back on the 10th, like I said. If you bond out, get yourself to the public defender's office immediately, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Max Mathis. Afternoon, Max. What's your date of birth?
9/21/95. Good afternoon, sir.
Max, you're here on a warrant I signed. I found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Is it possible I can take care of it today, sir?
Well, they're looking for 6 months in the county jail if you take care of it today, Max.
I'll do that. Let's ride. I'll sign it today.
All right, well, hang on.
He's been in custody since 4/16.
Okay, and Max, what's going on with the felony charge? Is that resolved?
The first domestic battery got dropped, so I'm mistaken when I go to court again on the 10th that one would get dropped in front of Judge Toner.
All right, hang on a sec.
I mean, I'd like to go ahead and just take the 6 months now and go ahead and sign for it.
I'm with you, brother, but hang on.
The pending case is 19 CF 735. It's sex offense battery with 510 arraignment.
All right, so Max, you think your felony's going to get dropped?
I mean, more than likely it should. I mean, I wouldn't see why not.
Okay.
Judge, if he does admit, we'd ask that he admit to the technical.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you grant him that prior time, he'll have 19 days in as of today.
Right. Well, Max, can I make you an alternative offer? Here's what I'm suggesting. You go to court on the 10th, which is a week from Friday. If that charge is dropped, then I would see you on Monday the 13th. If that charge is dropped, probation will probably take you back on probation or give you a time served for the VOP. It would be a whole different thing if that felony gets dropped. And the 180 would still be there for you. But that way, there's no reason for you to do 180 if we only need you to do 30. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'll go ahead and take the 180 right now just to be safe, sir.
All right. Okay. All right, Max, you understand by entering an admission to a violation of probation, you give up the right to have a trial to the court and the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to have a lawyer, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Case number 19MM775. Do you admit that you violated your probation? Just the technicals?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll accept your admission to technical violations only. I will revoke and terminate the probation unsuccessfully. Sent you to 180 days in the county jail. What was the credit time?
19 days, Judge.
19 days credit time served. There'll be $100 for the state and your cost of incarceration, but that takes care of it, Max. If there's, you just need to finish the time, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
2.
Joshua Norris. Afternoon, Joshua. What's your date of birth?
4/8/1992.
Judge, I have 2 warrants for you today. The first one was signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for 1 count of grand theft auto. The second one was signed by me. I found probable cause for burglary of a dwelling and a grand theft auto. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire a private counsel? Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Adjudication in 2018 for possession of paraphernalia out of Citrus County, as well as a marijuana possession.
Oh, Your Honor, I've never been in Citrus County for
Okay.
possession.
Just hang on, Judge. Let me hear what he's got here. Okay. Hang on a second.
2017 adjudication withheld for a grand theft out of Marion County. Adjudication of guilt, actual constructive possession of a synthetic. Adjudication in 17, as well as a petty theft adjudication in 2017, and those are out of Marion County.
Your Honor, he's got the wrong guy. I've been in Pasco County Jail since 2017 of November. I just signed for 10 years in Pasco County. I've been there for 18 months. And I've never been in Marion County Jail for any possessions or grand thefts.
Okay. Okay, but you tell me you got 10 years of DOC to do, is that right?
Yes, sir. I just signed in Pasco County. The charges that I'm being charged with now, I have no idea about. I knew that I was sent to advisories in Pasco County for a grand theft out of Hernando County, which had something to do with the same incident that had in Pasco County that I signed the 10 years for.
Okay, well, that's what's going to happen. Obviously, we got to get these here in Hernando County resolved. So if you've got a DOC hold, it doesn't make a lot of difference where I set your bond, but I'll leave the bonds per the warrant. Obviously, with the DOC hold, you can't get out, but we'll get you back in court. Both of these by the end of the month, the 28th of May. PD will come see you and explain what it's all about and get them resolved as quick as we can so we can get you on your way, all right?
Okay, well, Your Honor, he was reading off Joshua Norris as that I had.
Okay, Joshua, I believe you. I believe that you have no other history other than whatever it is you got the 10 years for. My point is, since you have a DOC hold, it doesn't matter where I set the bond, right? Because you can't bond out,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah.
Okay, so that's all that information he was giving me out is what I would have used to set the bond. But since you told me you're going to prison, then it doesn't really matter. I'm getting you to court as quick as I can, which is the 28th of May. Pete will come see you, and we'll get this squared away, okay?
Yes. Well, may I ask what the 2 grand thefts are?
The ones that I just read you?
Yes, sir.
The one says that you endeavored to obtain the property of Dawn Norris, a black and color 2005 GMC Sierra. I assume you know who Dawn is.
Yes, that's my mom.
The other one says that you allegedly entered the home on Orchard Parkway and the home of Phyllis Trulick, and that when you did that, you were armed with a razor, and that then when you left there, you stole her Cadillac, allegedly. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep, very good. So left the bonds the same, which is $2,000, $25,000, and $2,000 coming back on the 28th.
And Your Honor, the paperwork was clipped together with another person's paperwork, so he is correct with that.
Okay. Nicholas Parr. Bonded.
Yeah, so bonded.
Jason Scott. Mr. Scott, what's your date of birth?
12/22/1982.
Scott, I have 2 charges. They have a felony domestic battery by strangulation and a battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, going to hire private counsel, would you like a public defender?
I'm public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, state what you tell me.
Showing for Jason Scott a state prison adjudication for a battery second or subsequent of Hernando County, as well as a condition of release violation with no disposition on a Hernando County, a possession of paraphernalia adjudication in 2017, as well as a possession of marijuana, a battery adjudication in 2017, domestic and related, as well as an adjudication for an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So it looks like there was multiple charges that they were adjudicated in that 2017 year. No other history.
All right, and Jason, I have an address for you on California Street. Is that where you live?
That's my mailing address, but I'm apparently homeless.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
Okay. On the felony domestic battery, I'll set the bond at $5,000. On the domestic battery at $2,000. It's a total of 7. Condition of those bonds is that you have no contact with Miss Amon. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir. I know what that means.
Okay. Also going to hold you up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction, we know where to find you. I'll have you back in court on the 28th of May. If you're able to bond out, you should contact the PD right away. If you can't bond out, they're going to come see you at the jail before you go to court, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. DeAndre Jackson.
Judge, apparently the state has today filed an information in this case.
That's awesome.
It was set for a status check under 3.194. They had continued the arraignment. It's already set for 5/9.
Okay, so they filed a charge?
I do have a copy of an information.
Okay.
I can't verify that they did take material testimony, but I do have a copy of an information.
Okay. And so does he, what's the case number, Dave?
That is 19 MM 1196.
It must have been on Judge Ruby's docket, isn't it?
Yes, it is on Judge Ruby's docket, and as I said, it should already be set for 5/9, I believe. I think the clerk had verified that.
But he's not been arraigned?
Well, the paperwork, the strip order indicates that he pled not guilty. However, I don't know how he pled not guilty to something that didn't exist.
There wouldn't have
at
been
the
anything
time.
yet, yeah.
It was my understanding at the time it was just being continued, but apparently the strip order indicated that he's already pled not guilty.
Okay.
Certainly, we would. I think
That's what, can we arraign him now and put him on a
that's
pretrial?
what I was going to say, and I believe he should already be on 5/9.
He's on 5/9, which looks like a pretrial day.
And I believe they're asking for 180 in his case,
Okay.
so it's not going to prejudice him then,
Okay.
just to go to the 5/9.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, the state did file a formal charge against you, 1 count of battery. Is that what it was, Dave?
Yes.
So we're gonna, I assume you don't want to take 180 days on that right now. Is that correct?
No, sir.
Okay. So you have a bond set at $1,000. You're still free to post that if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail. We're going to enter a not guilty plea for you. I'll have you back in court in front of Judge Ruby next week on the 9th of May, and you'll see your lawyer before then, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. And how about Jill White?
Judge, this is a plea. Miss White has resolved her felony case. I'll see if she's there.
Is Jill White at the jail?
I don't think so.
I can check for you.
Well,
Did you get
no,
a-
it's a plea out, right, Dave?
Yes, Judge.
Can you add her to first appearance tomorrow?
That would
Yes,
be
and
fine.
you said Jill or Joe?
Jill.
Jill.
Jill White, WHITE.
And it's 19
Not a
MM.
problem.
The case number is 19 MM 1193.
Okay.
It's a petty theft from Walmart.
All right. Is that, you got anything else left over?
That was it.